This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
This show is brought to you by Pet King Brands, the makers of Zymox and Oratine.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, picture your cat weaving between your legs on cue, or playfully being on top of your shoes as you walk. Or, how about jumping rope? Sound impossible? Our special guest today is here to help you help your cat reach his or her pet-ential. Yes, I said pet-ential. When it comes to performing tricks and displaying marvelous behavior. Please give pause and applause to renowned animal trainer and animal talent producer, the one and only Trish Seifried of CatBoss TV. Welcome to the show, Trish.
Hi, Arden. Thank you so much for having me on. It's such an honor to be with you. We are so excited to be on Oh Behave.
Hey, listeners, do you think your cat has the potential? We're going to be saying that word a lot. That's a word from Trish. Potential to star in TV commercials or in movies? Or are you just simply looking for ways to work your kitty's brain in a fun, engaging way so they stay off the counters and let you sleep in at least till 6 a.m.? Well, you got to stick around because we have the cat boss in the house. And Trish Seifried is ready to give some perfect solutions. So first, sit and purr. We'll be right back after we take this commercial break.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our guest today is Trish Seifried. That's a hard last name to say. I've been rehearsing it. Seifried.
You
and
got it.
Trish is a major champion for all cats and their people. She's a megastar in the world of animal training and cultivating talent in our four-leggers. She's the founder of CatBoss TV. Yep, a channel all about cats. And she just created a cat training app for all of you with iPhones. I think she sleeps. I'm not sure. Maybe she just has time for a cat nap. Hey, Trish, I'm so glad you're on the show. You've been kicking tail.
Arden, thank you so much. We're so honored to be with you. And you know what? This is so important for me and for everyone involved in this mission, because our mission is to change the way people see cats for the better. And if we change what we do to better them, then other people will follow too. And so we just want to create a movement where cats can do things instead of cats can't do things. We're definitely out to bust that myth that cats can be trained too.
Well, can, cat, cats. So we need to take away the can't and turn a cat into a can, not a metal can, everybody, but a can do. And so you've been at this a while, though. I think at least a couple of decades. You have this knack for being able to work with all kinds of sentient beings. I know you were working as an animal trainer at one time, I think for SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I want people to recognize we have friends that operate Dog TV. Big shout out to all our friends there. That's a great channel. But tell us a little bit about CatBoss TV and how people can tune in and what's making it kind of stand. It's kind of like a Maine Coon among a bunch of tiny kittens. It stands tall. It's a big channel, but I want people to know about it. So we have a lot of feline fans tuning in. Can you tell us a little bit about CatBoss TV and how they can connect?
Yeah, sure. So our goal is to really change the way people think about cat training, one high five at a time. And
Casey and Rusty know how to do a high five. Okay, that's it. Simple.
Good job, guys. But, it's all about positive reinforcement training and taking what your cat does well at and then building on that. And so basically, we teach people how to trick train their cats, but it's so much more than trick training.
Yeah.
Training starts right at home, and you can do all this training right at home in just 5 minutes a day. And so what people don't think that they're already training their cats. Well, cats are so observant. They're watching all of our cues. They're watching when we put the bowl down, when the dogs go outside, when we come home from work. So they're already watching.
Well, they're kind of downloading us, right? I heard there's a term for that, gaze alternation. Doesn't that sound funky?
Yeah.
That they just sit there and they stare at us and then they stare at their bowl.
Right.
Then they stare at us or they look at you while you're cooking and then they look down. It's like they're silently communicating, right?
They are. And a lot of training is based on watching your cat, observing your cat's body language, and then really trying to draw out what's best for your cat and best for you. And so training has so many different benefits, but it goes to safety, enrichment, improves your bond. It's fun. But so we're always training our cats, whether we think that we're not, but we are. So they're like I said, they're watching us and they're learning from us.
Well, you answer on your website, everybody. I want you to dash over. It is catbosstv.com. But there is a whole section called Why Train a Cat. And as you said, Trish, you said it builds a bond. They get their mind, their noodle working. They're getting some new challenge and you're kind of correcting some not so wanted behaviors. But then you have a section called Street Cred. Explain.
Street cred. Oh, it gives you street cred.
Yeah.
Right. So when you have your friends over, if you have a cat that's hiding all the time, you can retrain your cat to not hide. That's the number one reason why I hear people say, like, I can't train my cat because it's always hiding.
Give us a little school-esque, great cat boss.
Yeah. So one of the top things that is a total game changer for cats, and it's going to reverse the way we think about cats as a whole, because people are just taught to put a bowl of food down for a cat, and then they'll return to that bowl and they'll graze throughout the day when they feel like grazing. But that's actually contrary to what a cat's natural instincts are. So I always teach people to meal feed their cats.
Good.
So I meal feed my cats twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I portion out their treats for training. So if I'm going to train them, then that comes out from their regular diet. So that way my cats are staying fit and healthy, but also stimulated with the mental and physical activity with training. And so I think the number one game changer is meal feeding for your cat.
I like that because, if you have more than one cat in a household and you just leave a big old bowl out there, you don't know who's eating it. And there could be some bullying going on and stress. So I think having set meal times and portioning out part of that for your treats will probably keep cats from becoming hairy ottomans.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's go back to the Heidi cat. The kitty is hiding under the bed. What's a few things people may be able to do to help coax and build the confidence up?
Sure. So one of the top mistakes that people make is just when they bring a new cat home or their environment is too crazy for their cat, they give the cat the whole run of the space. What I like to do is just bring a cat into a space where they feel they're comfortable. And then each day, bring your cat out supervised and bring out all the fun things, all the toys and the treats, and make their environment stimulating and fun for them and not scary. So what I always like to teach people to do is meal feed, portion out the food, and then bring it to new environment, to the new space. So you can hide treats to encourage your cat to go hunt during the day. You can hide them in different locations to really stimulate their mind and their hunting instinct if they feel bored. But definitely start to feed them into the new space so that they get comfortable and they get the reinforcement from the new space. And it's not too scary. But a lot of times we need to be aware of how we're creating the environment around them. So if you're running the vacuum, if you're making loud noise, you're slamming the doors, things like that, that's going to enhance the cat's fear. And so we really need to modify ourselves in our training.
Do we need to be hush puppies?
Right. I think cats can acclimate to those types of things, but I think we need to be sensitive to them in order to bring out their confidence and build their confidence as we go.
So how did you become a cat can-do gal?
You know what? This is funny. So, I've been a cat trainer professionally for 23 years.
Wow.
Like you said, I started at SeaWorld, but you know what really, really drove me to create CatBoss TV?
I thought you were going to say to drink, but go ahead.
That's meowie hour.
Oh, better. Okay. So what inspired you, Trish?
Well, here's what it was. I was working for Purina when I moved back home from SeaWorld, I was working for Purina. I developed a pet show at Purina with dogs and cats and the bird and the pig. And people were like, wow, you can train cats. Can you train cats for our commercial work? And I was like, absolutely.
Yes, please.
That's my dream come true. Now that I'm retired from SeaWorld. Yes, please.
Yes.
But what I kept hearing was cats were getting a bad reputation in the film industry, and that cats aren't reliable. They can't do anything. They shut down. They get overwhelmed. And so I was invited to do commercial work, and that was a game changer for us because my cats became a reliable resource for the brand so that they could trust them. They knew that they were reliable. And that was my goal, was to prove that cats can do anything. It's just how you set your environment up.
You have a black cat named Foxy, and
That's right.
You have a very mani-pedi trick you have taught Foxy. Can you tell people what that is?
Yeah. So Foxy,
I think that's the best cat trick. It's like, especially for Halloween movies. Okay.
yeah. So Foxy was actually in a movie, and I taught him to do that behavior for the movie too, because it was a scary movie.
What does he do? Let people know what he does.
Yeah. So Foxy, when I say Foxy, show your claws, he stretches out his paw and puts all his claws out like he's really big, bad, and scary, and he's not.
I think even the Wolverine's going to be scared of Foxy.
Yeah. So that's an example of capturing a behavior that animals do naturally. When Foxy's really happy, he stretches out his paws. So I was encouraging him to stretch out his paws for treats. And one day he just put his claws out, and I said, jackpot, you're getting a lots of reward for that. So, and then I was able to capture it and shape that into that behavior. So a lot of training is just being observant with your animals and then capturing and shaping what they do naturally and turning it into a fun behavior.
You do have a great blog on your site, CatBoss TV, where you talk about and explain the key training terms like marker words, which, hey, it's like, yes, good, or release. Okay, all done. Or clicker, luring, shaping, capturing, target touch, rewards, my favorite, jackpot. Yeah. And you know what? It all boils down for us just watching and timing and rewarding. Is that the most simplest down?
Yes.
yes. Good, Arden. You get it.
Jackpot. No, yeah, jackpot. You got it. You know what? It's about having those techniques. It's pace in which you direct your animal, the speed in which you reward your animal, and accuracy. And you want to pay for what you want, and you want to ignore or redirect what you don't want. So if you think of it like a slot machine, right? If the animal does something right, boom, oh, jackpot, pay. So you really want to get your timing down, and you really want to stay with cats, especially, you really want to stay positive, use your voice. Oh, that's good. Good job. You want to keep it really nice and sweet, and then always end on a good note with training.
Okay.
Even if it's 3 minutes, you always want to end on a good note. So for each training session I do, I start with something the cat knows.
Okay. We're about to go to commercial break, but what would be a trick you're going to walk us through so we can tease the listeners and when we come back from the commercial break?
Sure. Well, I guess we could talk about a high five.
All right. I'm in. Hey, everybody. We are speaking with the CatBoss lady of CatBoss TV. We're talking Trish Seifried. She's amazing, and her cats are too. So we're going to learn. We're getting schooled by one of the very best. So everybody sit and purr. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. Oh Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Hey, pet pals. Arden Moore here. Is your dog or cat prone to ear infections? Does your pet resist having his ears cleaned when they're inflamed or irritated? Are you also concerned about the overuse of antibiotics? Help is here. Zymox ear care products offer soothing relief. And hey, you're going to love this part. They don't require the ear to be cleaned before you apply the drops. It's as easy as fill, rub, and done. That means less touching of those sensitive ears to help create a soothing, fear-free experience. Apply just once a day. Zymox gets its effectiveness from enzymes, not antibiotics. That means no side effects and no antibiotic resistance. You can find these veterinary recommended products at your veterinary clinic, most pet specialty retailers, and online. And here's a real treat. Yeah, I did say the word treat. Save 20% off any Zymox or Oratine product on Zymox.com. Just use the code Arden20 at checkout. That's Arden20. To learn more, visit Zymox.com. That's ZYMOX.com. Pause up.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets.
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is Jen Davis, the creator of Garfield, urging you to listen to the Oh Behave show with Arden Moore on Pet Life Radio.
Oh, yeah? We'll see about that.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Come on, you guys are having a catty good time. We got the Meow Mama in the house. We're talking Trish Seifried. She's laughing at my bad jokes, I know. My poor family had to put up with me all these years. But guys, the bottom line is this. There are more cats in American homes than dogs. I have cats and dogs, but my cats outnumber my dogs. And even as a little kid, I never put any can'ts on my cats, as Trish has said. I had a cat that would go swimming with my two dogs. He would follow anybody with a fishing pole because he loved bluegill. His name was Corky. And when he would swim, he used his long tail as a rudder. It was hilarious. We had a little backyard lake. I share all this because I think there are the possibilities in what kitties can do are almost limitless. So our great expert animal trainer, she runs an animal talent group. She produces things. She's affiliated with, she's been on the Jimmy Kimmel show, but she finally reached the new summit, Oh Behave. She's been really well respected in the film industry, TV commercials. She's going to talk a little bit about how to do a high paw, but I also want to make sure that you can tell people to think outside the box, not talking the litter box, in regards to, because we're going to then cover some of the really creative things you've been able to do, and you guys can see them on catbosstv.com. So, high paw, Trish, show me the way.
Yeah. So you know what is special about a high five is that it's not just a high five. Because if you're teaching your cat a high five, you're teaching and building a bond with your cat. It's one of people's favorite behaviors to learn because it shows connection and it shows bond. You know, it shows a bond with your cat. But a high five or a simple behavior like that is something that if you're going to take your cat on the road or go to the veterinarian, go to an event or wherever, go on a harness and a leash walk, you can gauge your cat's focus with a high five. If your cat is looking around and unfocused, you know that's probably not the time to ask them for a high five. But if your cat is sitting attentively looking for a treat and then you ask them for a high five, you can gauge and see if your cat is focused doing that. So
that's
really
great. Yeah.
And when you're teaching your cats to go into new environments, if you're into adventure catting, that's one of the things that you want to have in your tool bag, because it shows your cat is showing you that they are focused and that they trust you. And so that's why I always ask for simple behaviors in an overwhelming environment, because it sets them up for success each time.
Say that one more time, because if I was into tattoos, I'd have that on my forearm. Teach them simple in a what kind of environment? How did you say that? It was perfect.
I mean, I think I just said teach them simple behaviors in an overwhelming environment to gain their focus. Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm not going to put it on a forearm tattoo. I only have one tattoo and I'm not going to tell you where it is. And my grandma at the time, I was 29 and helped me create it. So there you go. All you guys are curious as cats, aren't you right now? All right. But you do talk about some things, because if they can focus on something, that makes them less apt to pine, get a little frustrated, be a little antsy, a little stressed. I hope you think I've been doing my homework on you, because I did see in 5 weeks, you took a beautiful little gray cat that was out in the streets, no human contact, and he was quietly eating out of the palm of your hand.
Yeah. So that is Malibu.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe, Arden, what Malibu has been able to accomplish.
What's Malibu's story? What happened?
So a friend of mine, we were eating out at a restaurant and it was late at night after work, and she made the mistake of pointing out the cat to me. Like, oh no.
No, don't tell CatBoss lady.
So needless to say, she sat at the table alone for the next hour and a half while I tried to catch the cat. And
were you having a mulot with the kitty or what?
Well, his name is Malibu Rum Runner. Just gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
So anyway, the next day I threw treats out, and the next day I was able to set a trap and go catch him. Well, let me tell you this. So I've had him in 5 weeks, he was able to not only learn how to be handled, petting, eating out of my hand. I started teaching him high five. That's the very first connection that we made, was just, I got him to reach forward towards the treat in a crate, and I got him to touch my hand. And that was the beginning of the bonding relationship that I have with him now. Malibu has integrated with all of my cats.
Nice.
He is even watching cat TV like Foxy does. Foxy's taught him how to do that.
He's just sucking up. Yeah. Okay.
But he has learned 20 new behaviors in 5 months that I've had him. He went from feral to rock star in 5 months. And so that's one of my big
That's a great success story.
Oh, that's one of my passions, is people say that feral cats can't be trained. And I'm like, okay, well, if you tell me that, watch this. So
yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So give us a couple examples of what Malibu is now doing just 5 months into being in a great home. I mean, he did hit the kitty lottery. You know that.
Yeah, he did. So Malibu sit-ups. He does sit-ups, goes to mark, high five. He does a back stall. He jumps into my arms, into my chest. He does a sit-up. He knows watch me. He knows spin and twist. He knows to go to mark. He knows tons of different behaviors, just like all my other cats know. He knows all the foundation behaviors that he needed to make him a confident cat. And basically, once cats leave their moms, they're looking to us for guidance. It's about us teaching the cats the criteria that we need from them once they leave their mama. We teach them, we take over and show them what we need from them. And so, with him, it was about creating those boundaries at first, and then letting him slowly but surely open his mind to what becoming a real cat, not a street cat, was like.
Well, he's now got street cred.
He does have street cred. So all the other cats are like, oh no, who's this guy? But
Well, that brings me to the question. I mean, you just gave an example with Malibu of taking a kitty that hadn't had a lot of human contact, and you've channeled him to work his noodle and his body in a fun, rewarding way. What about folks that may have their cat, they've been together, 3-4 years, and it's just been TV watching and things like that? Can you teach, not an old cat, but a cat that has just been sitting around? What can you do for those folks and their cats?
Oh, absolutely. So training is so enriching for cats. And like I was saying before, you can start by taking dry treats. Instead of putting the bowl down, pick the bowl up and watch the transformation that your cat and you have.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
What? Where are you going with that bowl?
Right. Watch that transformation, because it's really, like I said, once they leave their mom, it's like you are their resource. All good, fun things come from you instead of that bowl, the bowl that they worship. So when we want to talk to your veterinarian about that too, just make sure your cat doesn't have any underlying health issues, that you can begin meal feeding and do it in a safe way. You're going to do that over a couple of weeks period of time. And then what you're going to start to do is ask your cat for something simple. Like, here are some foundation behaviors your cat can learn at home.
Okay.
It's sit. So similar to how you train a dog to sit, you're going to take a treat in your hand and you're just going to go to the back of the cat's head, lure them. It's called luring. You're going to take the treat lure and lure the cat treat over the cat's head. Yep. And then you're going to, when their butt hits the ground, you're going to pop the treat down on the ground and reward them for sitting. So sitting is a foundation behavior. Coming when called is a foundation behavior.
Yeah.
And so I'll tell you this, 2 of the most important things that any cat owner can teach their cat that's super basic, that can actually save their life, is coming when called and kennel training. One of the number one reasons why cats don't go to the vet is because their owners, it stresses the cat out too much when they have to put him in the carrier.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's positive ways you can build association with your cat carrier every day. And what I do is I train my cats, but I feed my cats in their carriers every single day to build a positive association with the carrier.
My cats dig the carriers.
Yeah.
And I have done that. That's a great tip. The other thing is I whistle, and that has helped. That's a weird sound. And now my cat Rusty, the performer, who was trained to a whistle, he's now trained the rest of the furry Brady bunch to come to a whistle. So I have to be careful, because I'm sitting on the couch with a treat for Rusty, and then the other pack comes like, where's ours? but what do you think about a whistle? That's kind of an interesting sound, right? Maybe.
It's correct. Yeah. Anything that's unique and different that they can cue on. That means something, that's building. So you built an association with the whistle. At CatBoss TV, we use clicker training, and we use it sort of differently. So, as with training your own animals, clicker, all it does is marks the time when your animal does something, and it tells your animal that a treat is coming, right?
Yeah.
So we use, similar to what you're saying with the whistle, we use clicker training for recall training.
Okay.
So we click multiple times and teach the cat that actually means come when you're called. And so we use recall training. And so you can learn that in the app as well. But teaching your cat to recall to a clicker or coming when they're called can really be helpful, and it can save their life someday. So I think all owners should teach their cats to kennel up on command and then come when called.
I love that. And I do know we want to just name a couple of very surprising cat tricks you've mastered. I don't know the names of them, but I saw on the video where, it's nice to have a kitty jump in your arms, but you've modified it with your hands.
Yeah.
And talk about jumping rope. So these are 2 clever ones.
So that's the handstand trick that you were just mentioning.
Handstand. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely one of the harder tricks that you can learn in the app. But when I break it down so simple, step by step, you're like, oh, wow, I can do that too. So it's definitely easy for cats to learn. If you have a food motivated kitty, the key is finding their motivation, right? Yeah,
that's true. And then jumping rope, that's kind of clever. And you have very subtle hand signals for whether a cat is going to weave between your legs or do a walk backwards. I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right. I do use verbal and hand cues for tricks. So the jump rope trick is our signature trick at CatBoss TV. Kit Kat. I trained my first jump rope cat in 2008. His name was Frisky. Frisky died at 1 year old. He was a leukemia positive barn cat. So after that, I said, well, in honor of Frisky, I'm going to train Kit Kat. And so Kit Kat was the next. He's 12 years old now, and he is the world's only jump rope cat. We actually opened.
That's pretty cool.
We actually opened a new trick for jump rope cat. I think they call it skipping with cat in the Guinness Book of World Records. So we're still working on, and he's done it. We submitted our video. He's done 10 jump ropes in under a minute.
Okay, keep us posted because we're rooting for Kit Kat. That's pretty clever.
We will try.
The other thing I want to make sure is because, as you can tell, everyone from tuning in, Trish doesn't just stay stagnant. She's always exploring, expanding the wonderful abilities of our felines and building that bond that we have with them. So if you could, you've got a deal. You're going to help some of our folks that have iPhones. You want to talk about your newest way to get us to know how to train cats to have tricks and have them have really fully enriched lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're so excited to announce that on January 1st, we launched the very first cat training app. Nice. And it's called CatBoss TV Training. And it's on the App Store, available for download. And in this app, we have included over 57 tricks from basic to boss.
Basic to boss.
Yeah.
I like that.
There's 3 levels of cat training. You can start from the basics and work all the way up to boss. And so these tricks, we've done video and audio, step-by-step, easy to understand tutorial for you. And so it really just takes you by your hand and just walks you from even a simple behavior to a sit, all the way to jump catch or a foot stall or amazing tricks that we do with our cats that definitely show your cat can do any. And you guys would be surprised about how much your cat can learn with the CatBoss TV app. But also on our website, catbosstv.com, we have, like Arden was mentioning, all the blogs that teach you about basics of training. You think, I'm not a trainer, I don't want to trick train. You don't have to be. No. Anybody can do it just right from home.
No, I love it. And so, folks, the nice thing about the app is also that if you do get it, it's just a one-time lifetime fee and you're getting a lot of stuff. And we're going to be doing some kind of a giveaway. So we will put that on this episode once we get all the things worked out. When the show airs, I think you're going to do it so they can do, I don't know. I don't want to confuse everybody. I don't want to cause feline confusion, but do you have a game plan? You're going to give away a couple apps, I think.
Yeah. So we're going to give a couple of codes away for you guys to download on the App Store, but we'll keep you posted on all the rules for the contest. But Arden and I are going to run for you guys so that we give a few of those app downloads away so that you can get your cat training started today. So that's going to be exciting.
I like that. I know that we could speak to you for the whole 9 lives of a cat. You have so much knowledge and talent. And can you guys hear the enthusiasm in her? The gal's got kitty passion. She is helping pet cats work their brains, have a good life. I mean, that's kind of a nice wish to give anyone, 2, 3, or 4-leggers.
That's right.
I wish my mom would have taught me to do some tricks. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it truly is a game changer for cats. And it's, it really does build a bond with your cat. And so that's our goal. And our mission is just to change how, people see their cats for the better and really kind of open their minds to it. But, hey, we have 3 trick titles too that we're, you can apply for a title. So you can get an award, you can get a certificate, a ribbon, and show your friends.
Well, Casey and Rusty are in. Challenge taken, because Rusty rides on my shoulder now.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to hold you to that, Arden.
All right. And we'll start humble. Hey, everyone. We've been having a great time with CatBoss. We're talking Trish Seifried. She is the founder of CatBoss TV. I want you to go to catbosstv.com. You can go to Facebook. She's, I think it's Facebook/got pet-ential, pet-ential LLC. Instagram, we got everything. And she's got the iPhone app. You got to check it out. So I really do appreciate you being on our show, but I really appreciate you giving a lot of cats out there some street cred.
That's awesome. Thank you, Arden. It was such a pleasure to talk with you. And we hope this episode can change some cats' lives and open some minds.
I hope so too. And at this time, I want to give a shout out to my producer, Mark Winter. He is the surgeon of sound, the wizard of pause. I feel like I should be in a boxing ring. And now in this corner, we have the surgeon of sound. But seriously, Mark Winter created Pet Life Radio. It is the world's largest pet radio network. We're trying to get to the moon. We'll see how that goes. But I am humbly happy that Oh Behave is the longest continuously running pet podcast on the planet. And he's listening for me to pop any peas. So everybody, please check out ardenmoore.com. My Facebook is Arden Moore. My Instagram is Arden Knows Pets. And until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.